Hi guys, and thank you once again for taking a few moments to watch this week's video, which, well, first off, I'm in a different location. Welcome to my kitchen in my home. I wanted to step out of the office today and I wanted to bring you into our home to talk about food, more specifically, a smoothie that I would make and eat pretty much every day. Why I wanted to do that was because I'm actually getting asked a lot. One, what does my pantry look like? Is it very neat and consist of variety of goodies? But also, what's a meal that I can make that is quick, easy, and nourishes the body, and is also good for energizing, for training, recovery, and just general life. So the smoothie made sense. Like I said, this is something that, well, it kind of still tweaks and changes over time, but there's a lot of base items that go into this every single time. Now, we're not a cooking show. I'm not going to put this in a smoothie cup. I'm not going to blitz it all up and show you how to do it step by step. I think we're all well equipped to work out how to use a smoothie machine. I just want to go you through the lineup. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole on each one. Comment below if you'd love to know more about why any of these are included. First off, I would encourage you though to get a Neutr Bullet. Not sponsored by these guys, wish I was, but it's just been an amazing piece of kit. The motor is so strong, it crushes up the ice without any dramas and has lasted us for such a long time. But also just for cleaning it, it's really simple and easy to clean. So a Neutr Bullet is what I would use, and the cups that come with that is what I would put all of these wonderful ingredients in. So let's go through this lineup. Let's go through what makes its way into my smoothie. First thing, which isn't here because it would have melted by now, is ice. So I put a handful of ice in, and then my choice of liquid is actually water. Just because there's no sugars, there's no nothing, obviously it's water. So it's just making it a little bit leaner. You can use something like a coconut milk or an almond milk. There would be my two other choices, and they make it that nice bit creamier. Talking about creamy, talking about getting some good fats, avocado. This would make its way into my day every single day in a variety of ways. But in the smoothie, I would put this whole avocado in. I love it. It makes a really beautiful creamy texture to it. So avocado, step one. Number two that goes into the smoothie, in no particular order, but let's just go through the lineup, is bone broth. Now, typically bone broth would have a flavor, a beef or a chicken kind of stock taste to it. This is one that I've got from my local health food store. It's actually a flavorless bone broth. It's amazing because I can use it in anything that I'm cooking or that we're cooking as a family. I can also put it in the kids' meals as well. So a flavorless bone broth. My God, so good for gut health. That will make its way into my smoothie every single time. A recent addition. I started working out what's going into my smoothie, what are the benefits of all these things. For me, it's about getting iron in there, getting magnesium in there, getting obviously proteins and fats into my smoothie as well. Look, I'm not big on carbs. We're going to talk about that at the end, but also just things, what are things that are going to help with inflammation inside of the body? Okay, so I added in turmeric, not a lot. I add in a small amount of turmeric into my smoothie as well. Again, you can't taste it too badly, but only add a small amount. Fish oil. You will notice this taste if you put in too much. Put it in, don't put it in. This one's up to you. I'm all about convenience. My morning routine, and I've spoken about routine in the past, is how can I bring things together so that I'm doing all the things that I need without having to add multiple layers. So for me, I don't mind. I will put fish oil into my smoothie as well. Take it or leave it. I'll come back to these two bad boys in a minute. I like a little bit of crunch. I like to put some seeds in there, so it could be something like sunflower seeds. Pepitas. Pepitas have been going into my smoothie for the last probably 12 months. Just beautiful, nice little bit of crunch as well if you put them in towards the end and don't blitz them up at the start. So you get a nice little bit of crunch in there as well. Cacao Nibs. I used to blend these up inside of the smoothie. What I've changed now is I actually put these cacao nibs in at the end. I'll sprinkle them on the top and just adds a nice little crunch in addition to the benefits of what cacao nibs do for you. So adding in cacao nibs, you can blitz it in if you would like, or you can chuck it in at the top when you're finished. It does add a little bit of a bitter taste, but I like that bitter flavor. Chia seeds, I will pour these in. Again, beautiful, good, great for protein. Chia seeds, pour those in as part of the preparation phase as it goes into blitzing phase. So chia seeds will get in there as well. Cacao, raw, organic cacao, good quality cacao. Beautiful way to add that chocolatey flavor into the smoothie. Now, we'll pause. What you can do if you don't want a chocolate flavored one, or if you want a little bit of a twist on it, is I'll chuck frozen blueberries in as well. So you can either have berry flavored, so some frozen raspberries or frozen blueberries. Blueberries are amazing. Or for me, I tend to just lean into the pure chocolate flavor using this raw organic cacao. So good quality cacao. Don't get that cheap chocolate powder rubbish. In this bag, what do we have? In this bag, I have spinach. I have beautiful, fresh, organic spinach, and I'll put a big fistful of that into my smoothie as well. You know, again, what are we trying to get in here for me? It's my iron, it's my magnesiums, it's my proteins, okay, it's my fats. So I will put my spinach leaves in there as well. I am down to the final three of sorts. Almond butter or a nut butter, preferably not a peanut butter. I prefer to lean into things like an almond butter. So again, a great source of fats. So I'll put a big tablespoon of that in there. And again, you can blitz it in, I typically would, or you can add it in after and kind of spoon it out as you have mouthful by mouthful, but I would just blitz that in. It is beautiful, it's creamy, and adds a great texture to it. Now, what are the powders that I would put in? These are the two absolute go-tos for me, both brand and additions from a supplement perspective. First one, so ATP Science is my chosen brand. Again, I have spent the last 20 odd years trialing all different types of supplements, and many would muck with my guts. I got a pretty sensitive belly. But also then I found the benefits of collagen, body balance collagen, this is a collagen protein. And so now that's my go-to. Whey is probably still pretty good. That would be my second choice, but that can upset my belly. Dairy can tend to do that. So I would steer away from a whey protein, and I now have fallen on the ATP Science collagen protein, chocolate flavor. I'll put the link below for this as well. So if you want to check out their stuff, please jump on and check it out. It is amazing quality, an Australian made product, super clean, super safe. So I'll add in a great big heap, a spoonful, the scoop that comes with it, the required amount of protein into each smoothie. And again, being chocolate flavored, it just ups that chocolatey taste. Look, and a recent addition for me, I've only just got back onto this because, I started understanding more about the benefits of creatine. I go back to the days when I was 16, what am I now, almost 43, and I started lifting weights, and it was all about just creatine, and you were loading it in, and we were all getting blood noses, and our hairs were falling out. It was a bad time. We had no idea what we were doing. The world has come a long way with its knowledge of creatine. Again, ATP Science has released its own creatine, and so now I would add this into my smoothie as well. Okay, so yes, from the benefits of the muscle stimulation, muscle growth, but also just the cognitive benefits being obtained from creatine. So just the recommended dosage that comes with this, I would tip that into my smoothie. Now, for anyone taking creatine, whether it's in smoothie or whether it's just part of their normal day, I just would tread cautiously on when you consume it, by which I mean creatine after, I believe it's 4 hours, will break down into what's called creatinine. Now, creatinine, terrible word if you can't say it, is basically a toxin. Now, I had rhabdo. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, Google it, rhabdomyolysis. I had this several years ago when I hyperextended my core many times as part of a really bad CrossFit workout. What happens was when the muscles break down, they always release this little bit of creatinine into the system. And as a result of breaking our muscle fibers down when we train, which you're kind of meant to do, that's always going to happen. When it's to excess is when we have a problem, because the kidneys really struggle to break it down, and then it causes problems. And for me, my kidneys actually started to shut down. I got to the hospital just in time. So what am I saying about this is that actually creatine converts to creatinine when left out, or in a smoothie or in your water bottle. I believe it's 4 hours. So what am I saying? I'm saying don't make this smoothie at night and have it in the morning if you've put creatine in it. Don't make your drink bottle for the gym in the morning and put creatine in it and making it at night time. Always add the creatine in at the time of consumption. I think that's everything. But what would I do different if I wanted to make it a teensy bit tastier? Well, banana. It's an easy one. Just add in a banana, frozen or fresh. Again, a little bit more creamier, but it adds that sweetness. I try to avoid bananas in high volume. So if I'm having one of these smoothies a day, or at least every second day, I tend to steer clear of putting a banana or at least a whole banana in, choosing to have other sweet things like berries. So if you do want to add some extra sweetness, put a banana in there as well. So guys, that's kind of my lineup. This is what goes into my smoothie. And if you've got any questions about any of these things, I'll put the link to the ATP stuff below. But any of the questions around why these things go in, comment below and let me know. Guys, keep well, look after yourselves, and enjoy this smoothie.